the man of the hour. It's Yuli from the Baltimore Banner. How we doing, sir?
Doing better than Sunday, I think. So
we wanted to check in with you. You're kind of a sideline correspondent for us now that you've joined us, and you ran into a little bit of trouble, or maybe some trouble ran into you. How about you give us the story on your end as it happened?
Yeah, guys, it was wild. Honestly, like I never even saw it coming. I didn't know what happened until I saw the video after the play happened. I mean, so Zay Flowers had caught that pass all the way down the field. I'd been on the opposite end in the other end zone side, so I had to like book it down to that one side. I think Lamar ran like one more play after that. He got taken down, maybe two, and I was like, no, let me move up a little bit more. Let me get like right in the corner here. This should be a pretty good spot. I lock in, I see him run the ball in, and then from there, all of a sudden there's just like giant like wall of like white and purple just right in my face. It was painful. But I'm here, so we live, we move.
Ultimately, what ended up being the prognosis there? I saw you were in the hospital. I did see that the Banner and you both tweeted out and said the good news is that the camera was okay. As a photographer, you're always like, take my life, not my camera. So what ended up being the whole prognosis there afterwards?
Yeah, no, that's the most important thing, of course. The camera's insured, but still, like I want to make sure that's okay. The memory card, got to get the pictures.
Might be more insured than some people in this country, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, we do treat these cameras pretty well, but no, I'm doing okay. I've got an ankle sprain. That's pretty painful, so I'm not really on my feet very much the past couple days. Got some bruises. If you saw that one picture, I think I tweeted out, like the monopod I was using to hold up the camera and the lens is entirely just like bent. That bent on my leg, so that's why my knee is pretty messed up. I think the way that like Ronnie came in, I was there holding it. He came in, and the force of like all like the momentum, the weight, just kind of like bent that right on my knee. So that one's done. That's the only thing that actually broke though, luckily.
So the monopod could not withstand the equivalent of a small rhinoceros running through it. That's shocking.
Yeah, apparently not. They gotta test these things more before they sell them to us.
How many, like, has this ever run through your mind before? I've talked to like Sean Hubbard before. I interviewed him once, and I don't know if I ever asked him about what it's like being on the sideline of one of these games or even close to it. It moves so fast, and these guys are so big. It's like, it's insane. It's really like mind blowing. The closer you get, I mean, you're in the trenches there every single week. Has it ever like crossed your mind that like something like this could happen?
Yeah, it's happened once before, but I wasn't hurt. That one was more like a controlled fall. Probably it was like a couple years ago, and just the play moved out of bounds. I was in the wrong spot, but I think that time they saw me and they were able to kind of like slow down, sort of like move a little bit out of the way. This one, I mean, I'm guessing Ronnie didn't even see me. Obviously, like the linebacker, he was pushing out there with the block. He didn't see me. It was all just, it was a bad accident. It's happened. You got to know it could happen. They tell us it could happen before we go out there. By nature of me even having the access and the credential, I kind of like waive that liability anyway. So it's like, you might get hurt, but you can get your pictures.
And Yuli, you've been covering the area for as long as you've been in the area, which is your whole life from what I read up on you. Is this the most under siege you've been in that sense? Does this go on your Mount Rushmore of that? Like in terms of, I don't know if danger is the right word necessarily, but just any sort of event like this overall. What was the Mount Rushmore, I guess, of similar events happen?
Yeah, this is probably the most I've ever been injured at work. I obviously just got done covering what ended up being a little bit of a painful ending to the baseball season for Baltimore fans. I've had probably maybe 3 really close calls with a foul ball coming at me. I've got actually a few pictures of like where I stayed in the moment, kind of like clicking. I see the ball coming. I'm like, oh, I gotta move. It's just like felt like slow motion. I got hit by one ball, but it bounced right off the net, right into me. So it took like some of that force out there too. So this is for sure like the most I've ever actually like taken the hit fully, didn't see it coming, and got injured. Yeah, because like I don't only cover sports, I do news and features as well. Most of the time if I'm doing a portrait of someone, not really expecting to get hurt, it's when you come into like the sports field, it's like these guys are huge and they are giants among men. Like there's like a good chance it could happen. So it's always in the back of your mind. I know people say like keep your head on a swivel. I didn't even get the chance to. I never saw it coming.
And I don't want to like take you through too much trauma here or anything. So go as far as not far as you want to. But was there like an oh shit moment? Like I'm actually pretty hurt here. We gotta do something.
I think I was in shock at first. It was really I'll say like when I try to get up and they're like, oh dude, come on, can you stand? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. And like I couldn't stand for a second. I kind of like went back down. I was like, oh god, this could be pretty bad. I tried to like just like put that out of my mind and just like focus on like, are the cameras okay? Monopod clearly messed up. Camera turns on. All right. You're like, are you okay? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm checking something. Want to make sure the card is there. Turns on. I know it's stupid, but like that's just the way that my mind kind of like worked in the moment. Is like, take care of the pictures, do your job. Like the biggest bummer of it all was just they won what, like 103 or something like that. But like I didn't get to keep covering the game. That's what I was pissed off about. I was there with my coworker Kylie, who I think it was like her second game. So like I wanted to be able to like be there with her, kind of like show her like places to go and like, you know, cover the field together. And I felt bad like, you know, leaving her on her own. She ended up handling it really well. Got some great shots as well.
Definitely. And Yuli, you have been at the Banner for, I guess, a little over a year now, if I'm not mistaken. We had time at the Baltimore Sun, went to the University of Maryland. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about what you're working on at the Banner and where people can check you out and what you're most excited about and what you've done and what you have coming up too.
Yeah, no, so I've been with Banner since it launched. It's at the Sun for probably somewhere between like 5-6 years. So I've spent my entire like professional career mostly in Baltimore, Annapolis for a little bit, the capital. But I'm kind of like trying to find whatever the next thing is. Being a photojournalist at a newspaper or any kind of like media outlet, sometimes there's like specific beats for things that like you're interested in. For instance, like I love covering sports. It's really fun. I feel like I've kind of got the hang of this thing pretty well. You have to be ready to cover anything. So, I mean, you know, right now there's protests and shootings and portraits and features, and it's just the nature of the job. Like there's so much randomness and variety that I really love. So as soon as I'm back on my feet, I'm hoping to be back by Monday, but you know, we'll see. I'm just looking forward to whatever kind of comes next.
Last question for me. There was a guy at a college football game, a photographer, a couple weeks ago. He got hit in a pretty sensitive area, but like he got the video of it, he got the video of the ball coming in right at him, and he put it out on Twitter like right away. So I'm just curious. Like, do you have the photos of like when they were coming in at you? Did you take any? Are you gonna frame any of them to commemorate the event? Or
Yeah, no. Unlike like when I had like the foul ball kind of coming at me, and I started taking that, like I can like quickly like walk you through like the moment, because I mean luckily I didn't get a concussion or anything. I was there, I saw Lamar run in, he's holding the ball out, I'm getting the frame, but I'm using a camera that has a lens on it that's like 200 to 600 millimeter lens, so it's a long distance lens, and he's like very close. So I'm already thinking like, oh, this is not gonna work, it's a little bit too tight, let me switch to my other camera. And it was in that like one moment I start to like kind of like move the camera away from my face to like reframe, maybe move over a little bit, and that's when it all kind of comes in. I don't have a really cool moment of like a blur or anything like that, like as I'm getting hit or anything. Kind of wish I do. I don't know if any like photographers on the sideline have a photo of me getting just like slammed. I talked to like probably 3 or 4 of them. They checked in just make sure I was doing okay. But you know, everybody's eyes were on like the action, you know, the touchdown. Nobody, I think, even saw the block happening. Nobody saw me get hit either.
The TV copy got you covered with the video at least, so maybe you can snag some from those.
Yeah, probably.
We really appreciate your time. You guys can go follow Yuli at Yules on Twitter and Instagram, I believe, as well. So appreciate you coming on, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks for
appreciate
joining
that.
us.
Thanks for having me on.